You know, this isn't what I had in mind. Alright, let's talk about Japan. This isn't the right shirt for Japan. I'm not gonna go put on my like Tokyo, Japan shirt, should I? I didn't even get it in Japan. Well, let's just, hang on. Nope. No, this feels fine. This is the right outfit. Okay, let's talk about Japan. The whole reason I got to even go to Japan, one of my best friends, Bailey, she got hired on to work at Harry Potter World in Universal Studios, Japan. And is that a reminder to drink water? Also, I cut myself shaving. I've been using a new safety razor to try to lessen plastic in the world. But as I'm lessening plastic in the world, I'm cutting up my face. If I were dating a vampire, that would be very useful, but I'm not dating a vampire. But sometimes I wish. I wish for a lot of things. I wish for lots of things! And what are you looking at? So before I left, I didn't even pack my food. I didn't even pack my suitcase. No. What? I wish I knew what I was saying. I'm a cheerleader. So I knew about this trip probably 3 months in advance, maybe more. And I didn't pack until the night before I left. So it was a 12-hour flight to which I flew over the United States, across Canada, across the sea, and landed in Japan. Now in between, I got to ride on this cool plane called the Dreamliner, where dreams are lined with salt. I don't know what that means either, and that's definitely not their slogan. If it is, I'm gonna sue. So on the plane, there were windows. I know, windows from which to look out and do this. What is my life? Am I actually above the sun? I mean the clouds? But anyway, the windows. The windows were really cool because I saw that they had like a little dial, and you could push it up, you could push it down, and the more down you pushed, the more cyan it became. And I know it's called cyan because I went through this whole thing earlier of, is it called cyan? Is it called cyan?
Cyan.
Cyan. Okay. It was cool, but then I was like, how do they do this? There's a piece of gel in between the two panes of the window, okay? Follow me here. That gel has electricity pulsed through it, and you can control that electricity. The more electricity it has, the more cyan it becomes. The less electricity it has, the more transparent it is. Okay, science. I also sat by 2 people, one of which told me he lived somewhere in the middle of the ocean, so I assume that he lived on an island, because when he pointed to it on the map, I was like, there's nothing there. And he was like, that's where I live, sis. And I was like, are you a mermaid? Was he a mermaid? And I didn't take advantage of that. Ask him the questions and get my answers. What's this window and why does it turn that color blue? So then him and the person beside him fell asleep on each other, and I thought it was cute and like a cute human moment, so I filmed them. For my collection. Then I arrived to the Tokyo airport, and I was being ushered in multiple places, and once they saw my passport they were like, get in this line, go that way, and then I thought I was in the right line, turns out I was in the wrong line. Then when I finally found the right line and I got up to the man, he was like, you don't have the form. So I walked back to the little table and I was like, oh, this form. I don't even remember what that form said. I think I filled it out wrong too. I gave it to him and he was like, good job, take a picture, stamp your passport. Do you guys want to see my Japan stamp? Where is it? Oh, do I even read it? Oh my god, did I even go to Japan? Oh. Look at that. A little stamp, a little sticker. Hi. So I got my baggage at the baggage claim, where I said, I claim this baggage. So then I got up into a line and I went up to the man and he was like, you don't have the form. I can't. So I finally found a little forms, and then I found something in English that said consent to customs. This must be it. Which also kind of cool. I feel like in America you don't really consent to customs, you just kind of go through it. But then again, maybe you do. Because when I went back through America, then they asked me all these questions and it was crazy. And then they asked me if I... Am I criminalizing myself? I'm not gonna say that. I got the form, I went to the man, it was like, get on out of here. And then this lady was like, hey, this is your bag. And I was like, this is my bag. And she was like, can you help me with the handle? Because it won't go down. Mind you, my luggage is like 1,000 years old. My parents got it when I was little, so it's just a little wonky and it's been through a lot. You have to like, when you pull out the little handle, you gotta really smack it down. Like you just gotta smack it. And she wasn't gonna do that because she was gentle. She was a gentle person. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I got it. Boom! I went through another line, got my new ticket thing, put my bag through there. He was like, you got a bottle of water? Then he made me drink it in front of everybody else and they were like, chug the water, you dehydrated freak. And I was like, please. And they were like, drink the water! Yeah, that didn't happen. I finally got onto my flight to Osaka. I got to fly over Mount Fuji. Look at this thing. This behemoth mound rising from the earth, being surrounded by clouds. It was breathtaking. It took my breath away. I died on that plane, and I never made it back. I'm still on the plane. Can you see me, air stewardess? Hello? So then I got to Osaka after I finally got my baggage. I had a couple instructions from my friend on my notes in my phone because I didn't have any service. It took me forever to figure out how to get to this bus stop and whatever. Finally, I found this lady who was in a little ticket booth. She said, my English isn't very good. And I said, that's okay. I need to get here. And she was like, bus 6 right over there. That'll be this many yen. And I was like, girl, all right. Finally, I made it to the train stop that I needed. I had to get the Icoca card. And I knew I had the directions from my friend of how to get the Icoca card, find a kiosk, and it's got this little penguin. Look at him. He's little. I was proud of myself. I followed directions and I finally made it to our apartment. And that was day 1 in Japan. Day 2 in Japan. We went to this place called Greens. I think it was called Greens. And we ate some sort of tofu soup and like this seaweedish salad. Really nice bread. Listen, Japan loves their meat. They love a broth. They love a pork. They love a beef. They love a chicken. They love a fish. I don't. So it was a little hard to find options for me. But thankfully I have a good best friend who researched these things for me and tried her best to find me good options to eat. What a good friend. Day 2 was day of the aquarium. Now, this aquarium, it was gorgeous. They had many animals that I will never probably see in my life just existing in nature. As a vegan and an animal rights and environmental activist, self-proclaimed, I do have a bit of a moral quandary with zoos and aquariums, and I don't know if they were rescued or if, like, because I feel like their quality of life would be better if they were just out there in the ocean, like swimming around and doing their thing with that mermaid guy that I met on the plane. There was an array of animals, and I mean, like, you got penguins, you got 800 different type of fish, you got porpoises, dolphins, seals, whale sharks, spider crabs, jellyfish. I think the saddest thing was seeing the dolphins and the seals and the whale sharks because they just looked like they needed more room, but it was incredible to see a whale shark. Like, bittersweet. I don't regret going. Okay, come for me, cancel me. Bad vegan, bad vegan. Let it just be known that one of my favorite movies in the entire world is The Little Mermaid. They had this statue. Okay, so Hans Christian Andersen wrote the story, which hashtag gay because that was totally a love letter to his forbidden lover. In his home in like Denmark, they have this statue and it's the mermaid and she's all like, but they had a little recreation statue in Osaka that I got to see and I got to take a picture by and look all cute. I didn't get her pose down exactly right, but like, I tried my best. Here's some more scenery from that day. Day number 3 in Japan. I went to Universal Studios Japan to see Bailey do her thing and to get to explore it with her, and I got to go there for free. So you walk in and there's a spinning metal earth that says Universal Studios or just Universal, and it's in this like cloud of mist and it's just spinning and it's gorgeous. Now I didn't film a lot because I was just enjoying everything, taking it all in. I got to ride this cool 4D Spider-Man ride, which was a little scary because like I'm telling you, these villains hop in front of your cart, you feel heat, you feel fire, you get wet, you just feel like you're gonna throw up. When you see Spider-Man, you're like, hey, get my number. I rode a roller coaster backwards. My hands started to go numb, which is one of the first signs of almost passing out. So that's cool. I saw this little like rock and roll monster show, which I was living for the aesthetics. Then there was Jurassic World, Jurassic Park. It was very cool and very pretty. I didn't ride the roller coaster because I was a weenie. A Vienna sausage. I was cold, wet, and inside of a jar. Okay. Japan loves a Minion, they love Despicable Me. I like that movie. I think the Minions are kind of funny. They have a whole area dedicated to it, and I wasn't about to go in there, so I didn't. I also got to watch a street show, and I was living my best life. Come on and get dancing, oh, woo, dancing, oh, woo. Then I got to go to Harry Potter World for the first time, and Bailey showed me around. I got the inside scoop, but then Bailey had to leave and go get ready, which meant that I was alone. And even though I felt sort of safe because I am a 25-year-old person, at the time, now I'm 26, which, roll the montage. All right, here is the rundown. I've been with Bailey all day, and now she has to go do a show here. So now I get to be alone for like 2-3 hours, which in a place where the language barrier is real, it's tough. This place is pretty cool. They've got a lot of cool shops, and it's like a lot of things aren't English, so it's been really helpful too. So thank you, Japan, for putting things in English. Also, it's a really good thing that I am not so like socially anxious anymore, because if I were like, I don't know, 5 years younger, 8 years younger, somewhere around there, and I were left alone in a different country, even though I was still in my friend's workplace and I'm still like safe in a park, I would be having a fit. Like, I would not be okay. But I mean, I don't know. I feel pretty good about it. But yeah, I'm in Japan. This is crazy. Did not have this on plan for 2019. That's the roller coaster I couldn't get myself to go on. Eventually, I made it back to Harry Potter World. I was gonna try to ride the Jurassic Park thing by myself, Flight of the Dinosaur, but I just couldn't do it, and now I sort of really wish that I did. Tell myself to not be a Vienna sausage, because I'm vegan, number 1, and 2, be a bigger sausage, okay? Big sausage energy, like a bratwurst. Oh, like a bratwurst. Big sausage energy. Makes me want a bratwurst real bad. So then I made it back to Harry Potter World. When you first enter, there is an evergreen forest, and it's beautiful. You hear magical creature sounds and magical mystifying music, which I was living, because talk about an aesthetic. Dark, creepy woods. Hello. And then you come in, There's all the little shops. It's all winter forever, which I sort of hate because I really hate winter. And as a performer, when they're performing in the summer in like winter clothes, who came up with that idea? But then you come to the castle, which has a super cool light show, but we'll get to that in a minute. First, I rode the Forbidden Journey. You sit in a cart, and that cart, I mean, you are just lifted, you're turning, you're flying, you're in front of giant screens that make you feel like you're really there with Harry Potter. There's dragons, you feel the heat, the dragon tries to eat you. There's spiders, they try to attack you. You see Hermione, that big tree tries to kill you. Then Dementors are there and it feels cold and their mouths light up and you're like, please don't do this. Expecto Patronum! I rode that ride twice because the first time I didn't get to really get into it. I was just experiencing it all firsthand. So the second time, if I'm sitting in my little cart section and nobody can see me, well, guess who gets to have the most fun acting movie role in Harry Potter? This Slitherpuff. With the dragon again, I was like, no, not the dragon, I'm on my broom. The dragon was like, rock. This is crazy. And then we went to the spiders and I was like, no, I can't do this. The tree was like, no. Then the Dementors came and I was like, no, they're sucking all the happiness out of my life. But then I was like, nah, you can't defeat me! Eat my Patronus! And then the whole school was like, good job, Charles. And I was like, Dumbledore, McGonagall, all the students. And they're all like, yeah, and Hagrid's like, get in. I'm like, I know! I'm incredible! And then one of the happiest moments, I got to see Bailey perform. She nailed those lines perfectly, and she has two roles, okay? So some nights she does the English role, some nights she does the Japanese role, and she's great at either one. And it's so, like, you just feel so proud of your friends when you see them being successful, and I remember just watching her like, that's my best friend up there. Now you guys get to watch her too, and some of the show. You're welcome.
I'm so excited to see who will win this year's House Cup.
もちろん勤勉で忠実なハッフルパフが優勝さ
Not if the brave and daring Gryffindors win it all.
Sadly, my friends, it was time to leave Universal Studios and, well, it was a little bittersweet to leave. This was a pretty cool day. I'm in Japan. It's still not real. I don't even know what to think. Here she is, the star of the show. Welcome to day number 4. Now, day number 4, we didn't do much, okay? We started the day off by watching a scary movie and RuPaul's Drag Race. It's just our best friend thing. And then we went to the Shinsai district, I think it's called, which is just like a big shopping district. Out of all the things that happened, one of the best places in Japan, Slices. Slices is an all-vegan, pizza-based restaurant. And as a vegan in another country, where veganism isn't really that popular, it's so nice to find a haven of veganism. If anybody from Slices ever eventually watches this, I love you guys so much. I can't wait to come back again. You had the most delicious pizza, and then they had this like chip and dip nacho thing, and me and Bailey could not get enough, especially the first time that we had it. It was perfect. You've waited and you will be rewarded, because day 5 I went to the Nara Deer Park. You aren't ready. You want to live your Disney fantasy? You want to feel in tune with nature? These deer come up to you. They bow to you. You bow to them. You give them a cracker. You touch them, you pet them, you feel their antlers. So legend goes that at the Nara Deer Park, before us, generations ago, people who stayed at that temple would bow to the deer. It's a very respectful thing in Asian cultures to bow, and so over time, when deers were rewarded with that behavior, then they just bow now. That's just what they do. And it's continued on for generations. And so now these deer aren't afraid of people, and they're nippy. They're nippy, okay? They nip at your clothes. If they want more crackers, they will eat anything that falls on the ground. I read stories of people who, like, the deers ate their money. You know what they said? "Oh, deer, not my money." You hated that, didn't you? Roll the deer montage.
Okay, he's trying to eat my shorts.
So that's why they bow to you. I like to think just it's because they're showing respect. I really don't think it is. I think they're just wanting food. Bailey, what are your thoughts on these deer?
They just want food.
Yeah. Also, I'm a vegan, so they respect me a bit more than you.
Okay.
He said he would subscribe to my channel, so you should too. Now, after leaving one of the most magical places and being with deer, I got to see this beautiful Japanese architecture, and I don't know how long it had been there, but it seemed ancient, and it was gorgeous. These buildings like towered over me, and they were huge. And there was one that was a legit temple that I got to see this guy. He went and prayed at the temple, which was gorgeous. Day 6 was a strange day. I was in a very weird mental space. So we went to the beach.
Nicki Minaj.
And I was really excited, but like sort of nervous, and maybe that's why. But it turns out I'm a little afraid of the ocean. Like, I didn't plan on being afraid of the ocean, but I kind of am, because you just can't see what's beneath you, and sometimes things touch you and you're like, is that seaweed? Is it a snake? Is it a shark? Is it that mermaid that I met on the plane? I brought my umbrella because even though I put on sunscreen, I am a pale little boy who burns quite easily. I got to decorate Bailey with my shell collection. Bailey. Oh, God. Did you notice your shell and rock collection?
Thank you.
This was a more secluded beach that isn't really touristy. I think everyone was probably just at work because it was like a Thursday. There were pretty flowers and pretty homes, but it was all kind of abandoned, and I like that. Then that night, we did 2 things. One, I rode on the Osaka Ferris wheel, which is pretty cool. It's very tall. We're about to get on that. But also, when you're on a Ferris wheel, take the opportunity to get some pictures, which, hello, model, I don't know, contact me. Then we went to a club for a castmate's birthday party. Now, I don't know about you guys in other countries, but in America, like, nightclubs are where people dance. They're crazy. There's a lot of dancing. In Japan, they didn't really dance. Like, they had nightclub dancers up on a stage, they had a DJ up on a stage, But everyone just kind of like stood around, and so I'm walking in there in my little short, high-waisted shorts, which were quite a spectacle. When I'm telling you my shorts were a bit of talk of the town, when I walked into that bathroom, that men's bathroom, I haven't heard a room go that quiet since I was a senior at church camp and I told everybody that I was gay. That room got real quiet. Day 7! We were gonna go to some sort of festival, but it turns out like that was either over or like too far away, and we decided to attend a photo shoot that another castmate there in that house was holding, but I only have one surviving picture of that. I should probably contact him and be like, hey. I will drop his link somewhere in the video, definitely below, so you guys can check him out. For my last meal on Earth, I went back to Slices. I got to go to Slices again and have the same pizza that I got, the same chips, but this time I got this ice cream with a brownie. Then it was time to go home. Day 8, I was gonna travel back to the past, across the countries, another 12-hour flight to home in America, which I was sort of ready to come back to America. And as much as I enjoyed Japan, I do love my home. But I'm telling you, that morning was crazy, okay? Me and Bailey got up early, we got all packed and ready. Well, I did, she was staying there. We got on a train, we rode for like 40 minutes, we got on another train, and then we got sort of lost. Then we had to figure out which train we needed to be on, so we ran up all these stairs, me with my luggage. Finally found the train, we finally got to the airport, and then I went to the little kiosk and it was like, I don't know who you are. So then I was waiting in a line, and then Bailey was like, shouldn't you be in that line? And I was like, I don't think so. And then we got in that line, turns out I was supposed to be in that line. Thanks, Bailey. Finally got in that line, everything was good. I had to rush to my gate, and it was a good thing for us because usually me and Bailey have to like hold each other for a while and be like, I'll miss you so much. It was kind of good. We were just like, go, go, go. And she left and I was like, love you, bye. And she's like, love you, bye. And then I made it right to my gate, like 3 minutes before they called my group number. So by the time I got on the plane, friends, I was and then I got to see a little bit more of Tokyo and Japan, like from afar away. Got to see that cool view. And then I swear, okay, you can think I'm crazy. You're not gonna see it in this video. Maybe you will see it in this video. Maybe you're like, no, you didn't see that. But I swear, when we were back flying over Canada, or somewhere near, I saw the Northern Lights. I like swear, I saw like a little band of like green lights. I'm gonna insert the video. I'm gonna show you. I don't know if you're gonna be able to see it, but I saw something, and it was magical. On the way home, when I went back through the other Tokyo airport, I went into a little souvenir shop to buy some things for my family, and I was wearing a hat, and this isn't the first time this has happened. When I wear a hat, sometimes people think I look like Justin Bieber, and that is a compliment. I love Justin Bieber. He's already married. It's not fair. Whatever. I gave the lady my passport and my money, and she looked at me, looked down at the passport, and looked at me and goes, Justin? And I said, And she was like, Justin Bieber? And I was like, no. No. Oh, no. No, but thank you. And she was like, okay. I legit think she didn't even believe me. Like she was like, you're Justin Bieber. And I was like, you know what? I should have just been like, of course. Did you want a picture? You want my autograph? Okay, so it was an amazing experience. 10 out of 10 would recommend, especially with your best friend. And guys, I just want to say, hold close to those friends that you know have your back. And when you have adventures together, it means so much more than just doing it by yourself. I love you, Bailey, so much. Thank you for having that experience with me. Like, it was so cool. Tell me. Ew, that's a scary face. Ew! Thank you so much for sticking around if you're still here. If you haven't done so already, please hit that red subscribe button. It is there for you to click on so you can keep up with me and my zany adventures. Now I've got a new camera, and I'm telling you, it's up from here. It's up from here. I'm hardly ever on social media, but if you guys interact more with me, I'll be on there more. All my stuff is down there, my Instagram, my Twitter, Snapchat, all of it, it's down there. I would love to hear from whoever is watching this video. And listen, I love a comment. It excites me. Like, even if you're about to read me to filth, I love a comment. I love a comment. Thanks so much for hanging out with me, guys. I love you.